Welcome to Bits and Bytes. I'm Denise Jaffe, and today we're going to talk about how to create a Google form when you have a West Hartford Public School Google Apps for Education account. Currently, I'm logged into my Gmail account, and I can get to Google Forms by clicking on the Apps menu choice, this grid in the upper right corner, and choosing Google Drive. Now, Google Drive is cloud-based, so anything I create in Google Drive is available any place I'm attached to the internet from any device. And I can create a Google document, a Google presentation, a Google spreadsheet, a Google form, and a Google drawing. When I click on Create and choose Google Form, it opens up a blank Google Forms screen. At the very top, I'm going to add the title of this form, and I'm going to do just a quick math quiz, maybe an exit ticket for today's lesson. And right beneath that, I have a bunch of menu choices, and beneath that, an undo and a redo button. I can choose a theme for my form, but I'm going to show you the themes a little later. In the Accepting Responses button, when I'm open to submissions to this form, I can have that open, and I can change this to not accepting responses after a certain date and time. On to the right, I have to choose a location where the submissions go, and they automatically are set to go to a spreadsheet in Google Apps. So whenever someone clicks that submit button, all the results get tagged in the spreadsheet, and I can just go to that spreadsheet. If I want to view the live form as I'm building it, I can click this button at any time to see what it looks like live on the internet. Right beneath that, I check this first option on when I want to require all West Hartford Public School employees and/or students to be logged in order to access the form. Right beneath it, I can also automatically collect the respondents' West Hartford Public School usernames, which is actually their email addresses, if I'm also requiring them to log in. I can show a progress bar for forms that are fairly long. By rule of thumb, you should not try to make your forms any longer than 15, maximum of 20 questions. They can get very long and boring. I'm going to scroll down. Now there's the title that I had put at the very top of the screen, Math Quiz. I can put a form description, what I'm expecting from my students when they fill out this form, but it's not mandatory. Right beneath that, I have question number 1, and because it's a math quiz, I'm going to ask, what is bigger, a Google or a billion? Beneath that, I can give them help text if I wanted to, but it's also not mandatory. And then I'm choosing my question type, and I have 9 different question types when I'm creating a Google form: a text question, a paragraph, multiple choice, which is a single answer multiple choice, check boxes, which is more than one answer, choose from a list, another single answer, a scale, a grid, date, and time. Multiple choice is the most used option in quizzes, and now I'm going to choose the responses. Is it going to be a Google, or is it going to be a billion? At the bottom of this, I can make this a required question, so they can't click the submit button unless they've answered the question. If I want to edit this, I can highlight over it and click the edit button, duplicate it, or delete it. To add a second item, I would click on this add item button. But what you really want to do is click on the down arrow next to the add item button. When I do that, it gives me all my item choices. On the left-hand side are simple questions, whether it be text, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, or choose from a list. And then more advanced questions, such as a scale. How much do I like math on a scale of 1 to 10? And I can pick along that grid, that scale. A grid, what devices do I own and how often do I use them? And I might have a selection of 5 or 6 devices with different options on how I use them. And date and time. On the right-hand side, I have an option for section headers, page break, images, or video, which are new to Google Forms. A section header would be if I was going to add a block of text, either a world language teacher taking a paragraph of text in another language and then asking a series of questions beneath it, or nonfiction text that I might put in and ask students to do close reading and answer questions on it. Page break, I can have pages in my quiz, and you can use the page break option to branch, which is a more advanced quizzing option as well. I can then also insert images that are either in my Google Drive or on my computer and ask students to answer questions based on images, which works very well with younger students. And I can also pull in a YouTube video using the YouTube URL and then ask questions on that video. I'm going to add another very simple multiple choice question. And what is the next prime number after 7? A multiple choice answers. And as I enter new information, the choice becomes available. I also have the option to add an other choice in case a student has an answer that they want to enter on their own. I'm going to make this required and click Done. I've now created a 2-question quiz, and again, I can continue to add on section breaks, images, video, and additional questions. At the very bottom of the screen, when the students hit the Submit button after they've answered, I can modify the text that they see afterwards. I can also allow them to submit another response, which is not normally what I would want to do with a quiz. I can publish a public link to the form results if it was more of an anonymous answer, and I can allow them to edit their responses if they wanted to. I'm turning all of those off for quiz responses. Up at the very top, I now can choose how I'm going to send this out to students. I'm going to click the Send Form button, and I could choose this link and just email the link out or put the link on a web page or a WordPress blog, or I can embed the entire form on a page or a WordPress blog, or I can email out to students the quiz itself and embed the quiz in the email and add a custom message and the subject line. That's as easy as it is to creating a form and sending it out. Thank you.